For this video, I'm going to talk to you about Lesson 12B, Graphing the Standard Form, Unit 6, Day 24. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take the card sort activity in this lesson and build it out on Desmos so students can complete it in a more interactive way. So the card sort occurs on page 13, and I'm going to click, I'm going to go to desmos.com. I'm going to go click Browse Activities, Custom, and I'm going to click New Activity. I'm opening that to show you in a moment, but I'm going to call this Unit 6, Lesson 12B, Card Sort. Okay. And so in order to create a card sort, you're going to click here, and that's going to open up a card sort. Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to copy the directions. Sort the cards. We don't need the directions though by moving. Just sort the cards that sort the cards into sets so that each set contains two equations in a graph that represent the same quadratic function. I'm going to enter that here. Okay. Now I can create cards. So what I like to do is I like to screenshot the images. And then I'll click Image. I'll drag that there. And then for the equations, y equals x squared minus 5x plus 4, I'm going to click Math equation, y equals x squared minus 5x plus 4. And I can continue to do that. I can add more images and text. So I went ahead and did that already just to save us some time on the same activity. Oops. So I'm going to show you. So fast forward from this, continuing to add images and text, and now I have a full set of images and text of all the equations. Now I'm going to check off large card on all of these because when I preview it, it makes these graphs a little bit bigger, and that's going to help students kind of know, okay, I'm matching two equations with one graph. If I make this full screen, it's going to help students be able to better see and move things around. So always encourage them to hit that full screen button, especially if they're working on a smaller computer. Now, the other cool thing about card sort is I can make an answer key. So I click here, and I can actually click and drag cards to create the groups that are the answer key. When students are working in class, you can then go to the dashboard and watch as they work and notice if they're making the correct matches or where the mistakes are, and it shows you really nicely in that space. So it's a great idea to make that answer key because it helps you kind of give feedback while a lesson is going on. Now, the second part of this asks students to, for each set of cards that you put together, explain how you know they belong together. So what I went ahead and did, and I'll show you an example, but I'll show you how I did it. But what I did is I screenshotted an answer, and then I gave them a space to write their response. And I checked this off because I want them to be able to actually see what each other is writing and use that to modify their responses. And I did that for the first two, but I'll do it again. And what I can do, I'll show you. So explain how you know that this set of cards belongs together. I'm going to do the sketch because I want them explain or show, right? And I actually am going to add that to the other one because, you know what, why not show how they belong together with annotations? So for this one, I'm going to go back to the answer key, and I'm going to screenshot this set of cards. I'm going to go here. I have my sketch. I'm going to put my image there, and then I'm just going to give them a chance to do text input. Okay, and so then this gives students a chance to actually reflect on the matches they made. You may be worried that students are going to see the answers ahead of time, but there's a feature on Desmos that you can use, and we could show that in a future video, where you can actually pace the lesson. So if you want students to stay on this slide for 15 minutes, you can pace them to stay here for 15 minutes. Maybe that's a little long, maybe 10 minutes in breakout rooms. Then you can release the pacing, and students can go ahead and work on these following slides. Okay. And so then you're kind of covered up to here, and then you just have the summary, and if you wanted to add that in, you can add that into the activity. Let me go back to the activity. Okay. And so, in summary, Desmos is a great tool to use because it allows you to actually have students work on the card sort interactively during the class period. And while they're working, you can actually see the matches they're making and check their work. It also allows them to have a very clear place to reflect on their matches and see one another's responses when they click share with class. It allows you to give feedback on those responses as they work.